Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book, Powers of Two, a creation by Joshua Wolf Shenk. Contrary to the misconception of the lone genius, many creative individuals have a partner who contributes to their creativity. Powers of Two delves into the concept of the creative duo, exploring the connection between creativity and the mind. The book draws on well-known examples of successful creative pairs, including John Lennon and Paul McCartney of the Beatles, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak of Apple Computer, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone of South Park. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Joshua Wolf Shenk is a curator, essayist, and author. His article for The Atlantic, titled "What Makes Us Happy?" holds the record for being the magazine's most read online article. Similarly, his first book, Lincoln's Melancholy, was recognized as one of the top books of 2005 by the Washington Post. With 9 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, the idea of a lone genius is a myth, as it actually takes 2 people to create something. The book, Powers of Two, discusses the value of creative partnerships and challenges the notion of the lone genius. It explores the history of successful collaborations and examines what defines and inspires creative chemistry. The book also highlights the importance of competition and conflict in productive creative relationships, how giving up individuality in a partnership can increase self-confidence, and the need for a balance of solitude and engagement with others for creativity. Key idea number 1. Creativity is fostered through a combination of introspection and collaboration. The idea of the lone genius who works in isolation to create masterpieces is a myth. This myth originated from the belief in individuality during the Enlightenment era. However, the internet has changed our perception of creativity by showing us the power of collaboration and inspiration. Creativity is a balance between self-reflection and social interaction. The Dalai Lama is an example of someone who excels at both being alone for self-reflection and engaging with others for inspiration. This combination allows him to lead a creative and engaged life. Key idea number 2. Successful creative relationships thrive when there is a harmonious balance of both shared similarities and unique differences between 2 individuals. People begin creative relationships because they have things in common and feel comfortable with each other. Creative partners can meet in everyday environments called magnet places. While similarities are important, differences between partners add novelty and provoke new ideas. The creative partnership between John Lennon and Paul McCartney, for example, was successful because of their contrasting backgrounds and abilities. Key idea number 3. In a creative partnership, it is important to be present and have confidence, trust, and faith in your partner. The text discusses the creative partnership between Suzanne Farrell and George Balanchine and explores the stages that contribute to a successful creative relationship: presence, confidence, trust, and faith. Presence involves being aware and accepting of the other person. Confidence is built on respect and shared qualities. Trust means believing in the other person's protection and support. Lastly, faith occurs when the boundaries between partners dissolve and they can trust each other completely. Key idea number 4. The ritual is crucial for the relationship between creative partners. Artist Marina Abramovich and her partner Ulay chose to live in a van together to deepen their relationship. This is an example of a ritual which is the basis for successful creative partnerships. Regular meetings and shared environments help develop a private language and even mimic each other's behavior. Close bonding does not require giving up one's individuality, but actually strengthens it. Giving up privacy can lead to greater self-confidence and encourage the best work of one's life. Key idea number 5. The text discusses the various types of creative pairs and how partners can influence one another. Creative relationships can be asymmetrical, overt, or distinct partnerships. Asymmetrical partnerships have one partner in the spotlight, while the other remains in the shadows. Overt partnerships have both partners equally famous and revered. Distinct partnerships involve partners with separate public identities who serve as advisors and muses to each other. Dreamers and doers are two types of creative partners who complement each other and are able to accomplish great things when working together. Key idea number 6. Creating space and maintaining distance in a partnership is crucial for a healthy and harmonious relationship. Creative relationships thrive on both intense periods of closeness and time spent apart. It is important for partners to have autonomy and space to recharge and access their unconscious minds. Creative people often find inspiration during semi-automatic activities. Autonomy and intimacy in creative partnerships can be achieved by separating idea generation from evaluation and collaboration. Key idea number 7. Conflict and competition between partners are necessary for fostering creativity. A competitive relationship between creative partners often leads to better work. Competition can motivate individuals to work harder and improve themselves. Lennon and McCartney were in constant competition with each other, resulting in the creation of hit songs. Sometimes the competition is subtle, but it still drives partners to do better. Conflict can arise from the constant battle for power, but this conflict can actually drive the creative process forward. An example is the relationship between Hitchcock and Hedron, where Hitchcock's control led to a successful film and a powerful performance by Hedron. Key idea number 8. The same reason can explain the start and the end of a relationship. The saying opposites attract is often true in relationships. We are initially drawn to qualities in our partners that later become unbearable. In a study, 30% of respondents gave the same reason for starting and ending a relationship. Success can also lead to the end of a relationship, as people with money tend to isolate themselves. Comedian Dave Chappelle chose to stop his career to avoid this trap, stating that success takes you where character cannot sustain you. Key idea number 9. Letting go of a relationship can be difficult even after it has ended. Relationships don't always end cleanly and can leave a lasting impact. Lennon and McCartney from the Beatles had a strained relationship before their acrimonious split, but their animosity continued even as solo artists. Vincent van Gogh's brother went insane after Vincent's suicide. Suzanne Farrell felt orphaned after the death of her partner, George Balanchine, and eventually drifted away from her dance career. In conclusion, the key message of this book is that creativity is not solely the result of individual genius, but rather a product of creative relationships between two people exchanging ideas or emotions. The book challenges the idea of the lone genius and emphasizes the power of collaboration. The suggested further reading is Creativity Incas by Ed Catmull, which explores the history of Pixar and Disney animation studios and offers advice on how to foster creativity in a team. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.